Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to make another video today. I was planning on doing a walk and talk, but I didn't have time in the daytime. And so it's now evening and finished work. And it's late evening, early morning right now. But I asked ChatGPT some interesting more questions about health. And I want to just talk about that a little bit. But here's the question I posed to it. Okay. Of the top 10 diseases that are killing Americans, please rate them highest to lowest in terms of how related they are to diet, and then rate them in terms of being something we catch by chance or by contagion or some other factor. I just, the reason I asked this question is, I don't know, I've just noticed lately how when a lot of people talk about, diabetes or stroke or, different diseases, even Alzheimer's or whatnot, diseases that are killing us. They almost talk about them in terms of like it's something that falls out of the sky, and they're just the they got them, it caught it like a cold or something, and the more I learn about health and nutrition, the more I learn that almost everything is diet related or lifestyle related. But let me just read some of the. Okay, so here they are, highest to lowest of the top 10 diseases that are killing Americans. And highest to lowest in terms of diet being the primary cause, okay? Before I get into that, there's a favorite leader of my church who said that we Americans particularly are digging ourselves an early grave with our fork. And I tend to agree. So here we go. Number one, heart disease. Strongly diet related. It says saturated fat, sugar, processed foods, and lack of nutrients contribute significantly. Oof. That's why I try to abide by, and this advice that I hear from different sources. When you go to the supermarket, stay on the outside of the supermarket where they have the first of all, not dairy products, but fruits and vegetables, meats that are not processed, things that are not processed, not in a box or in a can or something like that, okay? And you'll probably do yourself a lot of good. Number two, diabetes, and particularly type 2, it says here in parentheses, closely tied to diet, particularly excessive sugar, refined carbohydrates. Okay, that's why I try to avoid all added sugar to my foods. Okay, as of my health crisis I had 2 years ago, and I'm telling you, my blood work has, for the first time in my adult life, has all been in the normal range. So I can attest to the benefits of having a good diet. Now, I could eat less. I eat good foods, but I still eat too much, probably, especially now that I'm feeling better. But so that's it. Number three, obesity-related cancers, like colon cancer, breast cancer, etc., often influenced by diet, obesity, and poor nutrition. When it comes to cancer and treating cancer, the doctors say that we all, even healthy people, always have some cancerous cells in their body that are, what's the word? They come about and they die. They get attacked by eating healthy, and when we feed it the body the wrong things, it tends to foster cancerous cells, and it's basically letting the cancer take over by having a bad diet, is my understanding of it. Anyways, so, okay. Stroke. Check. That's what I had 2 years ago. Highly related to dietary factors like sodium, fats, and poor overall cardiovascular health. Okay. So, sounds like what I'm trying to do is right on. I'm trying to eat right and get plenty of exercise. Tried to walk an hour a day up my steep hill for an hour around this long course, and as the weather's getting colder, it's getting more and more difficult to do that, so I might have to start going to my rec center. But okay, next. Chronic lower respiratory diseases, CLRD. Diet affects inflammation, but smoking and environmental factors dominate. Okay, so as we're going down this list, they're getting less and less affected by diet, more and more affected by other things, right? So that's probably diet affects inflammation, but these other lifestyle choices of smoking and whatnot. Kidney disease is linked to diet, which means, in parentheses, high sodium, poor hydration, etc., but also can be secondary to diabetes or hypertension. Can also be secondary to diabetes or hypertension. Okay. I'm taking that to mean a side effect of diabetes or hypertension. So you need to address those two at the same time, right? Okay. And then here's another one. I had an older sister die of this, Alzheimer. Now, it said, let me just read this. Alzheimer's disease. Emerging research connects diet and brain health, but genetic predisposition plays a significant role. So, yeah, I think my pedigree is probably not real good in this department, but my feeling is diet is primary reason for this. So I'm banking on trying to avoid this. But anyways, my sister basically died of Alzheimer's. And I think, how did I die of Alzheimer's? And as I understand, I'm no expert. And I didn't closely follow every step along the way, but basically, first your mind goes, and then your organs start to shut down slowly over as this progresses. As the mind starts to go, its function of those control of your organs goes, and so it's a bad situation. Okay. Next, number 8, hypertension-related conditions, which is high blood pressure, I guess, strongly diet-related, especially sodium and processed foods. Okay, so stay away from those boxed foods, manufactured foods, all those things that we like to eat so much. The things in a bottle and a can. But hypertension, oh boy. Okay, next, number 9, liver disease. Okay, diet, in parentheses, alcohol, fatty liver from poor eating, and other causes like hepatitis or medications. Medications. Okay. Before I had my stroke, I was told that I had a fatty liver. And I think that is getting much better as my blood work indicators tend to say that that's getting much better, because I am basically no sodas, just sparkling water, no sugary drinks, no. The only sugar I get maybe is maybe some occasional little bit of maple syrup, natural maple syrup, and maybe, but other than that, like dates and raisins and fruits. So those things are sweet, and there's sugar in fruits and everything. But I try to eat nothing that has added sugar. Okay. Liver disease. We talked about that. Okay. Number 10. Okay, this is the least diet-related. Influenza and pneumonia. Least diet-related, though overall health impacts immune function, right? So if you're eating a healthy diet, that means your immune system is healthy and you're less prone to get flu or pneumonia, okay? So that's the good news. So most of these things are diet related, okay? Now, let's see, it's 12 minutes. Let's spend a little bit of time. Now let's go to, it's basically, let's see if this is basically the same list, but upside down. I said, listen, yeah, that's basically the same disease listed highest to lowest in terms of contagion being the biggest factor. And highest on those lists are influenza and pneumonia, of course, liver disease, and chronic lower respiratory diseases. Okay, let's see what else did I ask it. There's a summary here. Okay. And I asked this question. Let's see if it's, I'll read you this question and see if it's worth reading the answer. Why do Americans tend to talk about diabetes as if it's something they catch? We are altogether way too misinformed in this country. As an example, on Japan TV, at any given time, there's a quiz show with a panel of experts and celebrities discussing health. At 70, most Americans are getting ready to die. In Japan, 70 is said to be the peak years of a businessman. It's very strange. Anyway, so I saw, or did my wife tell me that she saw this? Maybe I saw it, I think. Yeah, they're saying the peak is at 70. When I say that, it's probably the peak of maturity and judgment and wisdom. Maybe not physical in a physical sense, but like a CEO of a company. At 70, he's just, at least in Japan, the thing is, hitting his stride. And some of our politicians are, like Trump is, it's just, you can see how that is. He could be a lot healthier if he ate a lot healthier. And I hope that RFK Jr. has that effect on him. So, let's see if there's anything here. Okay. It says why Americans misunderstand diabetes. It says, number one, medical framing. In the U.S., healthcare often emphasizes treatment over prevention. Many are told they have diabetes. Many are told they have diabetes, but are rarely educated about how lifestyle, especially diet, leads to the disease. Instead, it is framed as an inevitable diagnosis requiring lifelong medication. Let's put them on the drugs, right? And then marketing and misinformation. It said pharmaceutical ads dominate, this is ChatGPT speaking, pharmaceutical ads dominate American media, portraying diabetes as a manageable with medication rather than preventable through lifestyle changes. This shifts the focus from personal responsibility to passive treatment. And then cultural norms. The American diet is heavily reliant on processed and sugary foods. Coupled with the busy lifestyles and lack of nutritional education, many people don't recognize how their choices contribute to their chronic illness. And then number 4, victim mentality. In the U.S., chronic diseases are often perceived as something that happens to people, partly because acknowledging personal responsibility might feel overwhelming or guilt-inducing, right? It's not my fault. It's not my fault that I'm obese. It just fell out of the sky. I don't know why we get that mentality, okay? Contrast with Japan. In Japan, the approach to health and aging is vastly different. Number 1, education and awareness. Japanese TV often features educational programming, making health and nutrition part of daily conversation. This normalizes healthy habits and empowers individuals to make informed choices. Number 2, cultural mindset. The Japanese view aging as a continuation of productivity and vibrancy, especially for businessmen. Retirement is often seen as a time to contribute in new ways, not to roll up and die. So those are my words. Not as the end of usefulness, right? Okay. This cultural perspective encourages people to maintain their health and vitality. Wow, so true. And I've lived there for about 9-10 years, over several times, over 3 or 4 times. Okay, preventive healthcare. Number 4, preventive healthcare. Annual health checkups called Kenko Shindan are routine and accessible. These encourage early detection and lifestyle adjustments rather than waiting for serious illness to develop. Okay. Anyways, we're approaching 20 minutes. Okay. And next it goes into vaccine injuries, but I won't. I'll talk about that on a different video. That would get this thing pulled probably. So, anyways, there you have it. We're digging ourselves an early grave with our fork. Many of us. Health is mainly diet, of course, exercise, of course, stress management, good sleeping habits. And so I encourage us all to take care of ourselves. I don't have a great pedigree in that department, but I hope to break records for my family, for my family tree. But anyways, yeah, 74, 76 seems to be the upper limit, which in Japan, that's dying early, that's dying young. So, all right. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.